Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're sharing a story that, well, it begins with just a desperate plea for help.
And it spirals into something much, much darker, one of the really chilling cold cases from recent years.
Yeah, exactly. It's a narrative that really haunted a community for, over a decade? Slowly revealing this monster operating right under everyone's noses. We've pulled together sources detailing the terrifying saga of the Long Island serial killer, or LISK as he became known.
And how a completely separate disappearance, something that seemed unrelated at first, actually became the key.
The unexpected key, yeah. That unlocked this really shocking truth. So this deep dive, it traces the hunt for this killer. It's a story full of terror, but also tenacity from investigators.
Absolutely. Some incredible detective work over many years.
And just surprising turns that finally brought, well, some form of justice anyway to this quiet stretch of beach.
What's really striking, I think, is how that single event, Shannon Gilbert's disappearance, which seemed isolated, how that became the catalyst. It uncovered this much larger pattern. It's just a powerful example of persistence in police work.
And how tiny clues can become huge later on.
Exactly. The smallest details.
So let's unpack this whole unsettling tale for you. We'll start with that frantic phone call. It was 23 minutes long. That's what set everything off. The year was 2010. We're in Oak Beach, Long Island, affluent, usually pretty serene, just south of Manhattan.
Nice area.
Right. And on the morning of May 1st, police get this absolute chilling 911 call. It's from a 24-year-old woman named Shannon Gilbert. And for 23 minutes, just harrowing minutes, she's screaming down the phone, pleading, "These people are trying to kill me."
You could hear the terror in her voice, apparently. The operator knew it was serious.
Totally. Shannon was a Craigslist escort, and she'd been at a client's house there in Oak Beach the night before. But it seems this client wanted more than just her services.
He wanted her life.
It seems so. She managed to escape the house, make that call. She even ran past an elderly resident on the shoreline. He saw how scared she was.
Offered her help, right?
Yeah, you offered her refuge. But, and this is strange, she ran off again, just vanished into the night. So a huge search starts. Suffolk County PD. But the whole summer goes by. No Shannon.
And that's always been a really puzzling part of it, hasn't it? Why refuse help when you're clearly terrified?
Exactly.
It suggests maybe extreme disorientation, or perhaps the fear was so overwhelming she didn't know who to trust. It adds this whole other layer of mystery right from the start.
It really does. But, okay, so when the officers renewed the search later that year, December, what they did find, well, it shook the whole community.
Yeah.
And it introduced the world to LISK.
They were searching along the parkway, right? Standard procedure.
Yeah. Officer John Malia, he had his cadaver dog, Blue. They were checking Ocean Parkway because, bodies are often found near roads. And on December 11th, Blue gets a scent, leads Malia to this disintegrated burlap sack wrapped in duct tape.
Yeah.
Hidden in the brush.
Yeah.
And inside, a human skeleton. So naturally, everyone assumes the worst.
It has to be Shannon.
Right. But surprise, it wasn't her. And neither were the 3 other bodies they found, just like 500 feet away over the next couple of days.
Wow, 4 bodies in just a few days.
Yeah.
And that's how these things sometimes happen in investigations, isn't it? You're looking for one thing, and you stumble onto something completely different, and often much bigger. That peaceful shoreline was hiding a graveyard.
A veritable graveyard. By mid-April 2011, they'd found 10 bodies. 10 human bodies scattered across Gilgo Beach and nearby areas, all homicide.
And those first 4 became known as the Gilgo 4.
The Gilgo 4. And this is where it gets really disturbing, the pattern. These 4 women, chillingly similar, all young, petite, all Craigslist escorts.
Same victim profile.
Exactly. And all strangled, all found wrapped in those duct-taped burlap coverings. Investigators were pretty sure, pretty quickly, it was one person, the man they called LISK. The Long Island serial killer. Let's name these women, give them their identities back. First, Melissa Barthelemy. She was 24, from the Bronx, vanished July 12, 2009. She had dreams, wanted to open a hair salon.
And her sister got those calls.
Oh, yeah. Just a week after Melissa went missing, her sister starts getting these awful, menacing calls. An unknown guy asking, "Are you a whore?" And then he says "Melissa's dead, and I'm going to watch her rot."
Chilling. And they traced those calls.
They did, to Madison Square Garden in Manhattan, and also Massapequa out in Nassau County. Then there was Maureen Brainard-Barnes, 25 years old, mother of 2 from Connecticut. Also an escort, advertised on Craigslist.
Last seen when?
July 9th, 2007. They caught a train from New London to Grand Central to meet a client. Her feet and ankles were found bound with this distinctive belt, initials H inside. Or maybe WH. We'll get to that.
And didn't a friend get a call too?
Yeah, later. Some guy claiming he'd seen Maureen alive in Queens told him to stop looking for her. Very suspicious. Next, Megan Waterman. She was 22, a mother of one from Maine. Vanished June 6th, 2010. Also Craigslist. Told her boyfriend she was going out. Would call. Never did. She checked into a hotel only about 15 miles from Gilgo Beach. And finally, Amber Costello, 27, from West Babylon, which is only 10 miles north of Gilgo. She struggled with addiction, used escort work to support her habit.
Also Craigslist.
On September 2nd, 2010, a client she talked to before offered her $1,500 for the night. She agreed to meet him, and that was it.
The consistency there with those four, the victim type, the disposal method, it's textbook serial killer signature, points to someone very methodical, ritualistic perhaps. That consistency is what allows investigators to confidently link the crimes, start building that profile.
Right. But then after the Gilgo 4, they found 6 more bodies, starting just like 2 miles up the coast. And these victims found between 96 and 2010, they really complicated things.
Because the MO was different.
Yeah, significantly different sometimes. There was Jessica Taylor, 20 years old, Manhattan escort. Her head, hands, forearm found at Gilgo, but her torso. Found 7 years earlier, 2003, way out in Manorville. Then an Asian doe. Unidentified. Dead, maybe 5-10 years. Found on Gilgo Beach. Biologically male, but wearing women's clothes. Possibly transgender. Missing teeth. Might have had a distinct walk.
So partial remains, scattered locations. That's different from the Gilgo 4.
Very different. And Valerie Mack, 24, an escort from Philly, vanished in 2000. Again, head, hands, foot near Gilgo. Torso found back in Manorville in November 2000. And just heartbreakingly, baby doe, an unidentified toddler, maybe 2 years old, found near Valerie Mack. African-American descent, no visible injuries, wearing gold earrings, a necklace.
Oh, awful.
And then Peaches. Another Jane Doe, named for a tattoo. Her head and limbs found in a bag near Jones Beach State Park. The DNA linked her torso to a discovery 14 years earlier in Hempstead Lake State Park.
And she was the mother of baby Doe, right? DNA confirmed that.
Yeah. Which suggests, maybe, a closer connection to their killer. We don't know. And finally, Fire Island Doe. Her skull and teeth found at Bay Beach, but DNA linked her to legs found way back in 1996 on Fire Island. So she's kind of the first and last Jane Doe found.
So these 6 found nearby, some also sex workers, but often dismembered, put in bags, scattered, not the burlap sacks, and potentially dating back a decade or more before the Gilgo 4.
Exactly.
Which raises that huge question. One killer who changed methods dramatically and took a long break, or are we looking at multiple killers using the same dumping ground?
It muddies the waters completely.
Absolutely. Makes it incredibly tough for investigators trying to find a clear pattern.
And Shannon Gilbert, the woman who started it all. Her body was finally found, December 2011, in a marsh.
And the official conclusion was?
Accidental drowning. Suffolk PD concluded she had a psychotic episode. She had a family history, ran into the marsh hiding from something imaginary, tripped, and drowned. Despite the 911 call, despite being in the same line of work as the Gilgo 4.
So her death, tragic as it was deemed separate from LISK.
Officially, yes. But in this really bizarre, almost cosmic twist, her accidental death led them to find a dozen people who definitely met their end by a monster. For over 10 years, nothing. I mean, relentless work, hundreds of tips, but no real progress identifying LISK. Clearly, this guy was smart, thorough, ruthless.
The strangulation is. It's a very personal method, often points to deep hatred or a need for absolute control.
So things felt stalled. Until January 2022, the Suffolk County DA, Raymond Tierney, he put together a new task force. One mission, get LISK.
Fresh eyes, new resources.
Exactly. And that spring, they interviewed a key witness, Amber Costello's pimp. And this interview gave them the breakthrough. Okay, so according to this witness, September 1st, 2010, Amber has this client come over. Craigslist guy. They agree on a price. But it was a setup.
A trap.
Yeah. After the client paid, a guy pretending to be Amber's angry boyfriend bursts in, scares the client off, probably demanded more money too. But the next day, September 2nd, the same client calls Amber again, offers her $1,500 to come to his house this time, says they won't be disturbed. She agrees, goes to meet him, never seen again.
And the witness described this client.
Yes. Large, white male, mid-40s then. Called him ogre-like, about 6'4" to 6'6", bushy hair, big oval, kind of 70s style glasses, and crucially,
A vehicle.
the vehicle. He drove a green first generation Chevrolet Avalanche.
Wow. That specific detail After all this time.
Incredible, isn't it?
That's the kind of detail that can crack a cold case wide open. It lets you go from searching like a whole population down to a manageable list. The value of witnesses, even years later, it's immense.
So with that description, the task force runs a registration search. All green first-gen avalanches in New York and Long Island. Then they look at the owners, physical descriptions, and one guy just jumps out, Rex Heuermann.
And he matched.
Perfectly. 59-year-old architect,
Yeah.
business owner, married, father of 2, lives on Long Island, big guy, bushy hair, fits the ogreish thing.
Yeah.
And he would have been in his mid-40s back when Amber vanished.
And a location.
Worked out of Manhattan,
Yeah.
where several victims went before they died. But, being a big guy with a green truck isn't proof.
No, you need more.
So the task force starts digging deep, learning everything about Rex Heuermann, but keeping their distance. He was smart, successful, owned RH Consultants, office near the Empire State Building, big contracts.
Looked good on paper.
Totally. But underneath, darkness. His employees, mostly young women, called him arrogant, creepy. Some got unsettling voicemails, even love letters. Neighbors. They talked about his menacing glares where he chopped wood. Parents warned their kids, stay away from the Heuermann house.
It's staggering how someone can maintain that kind of double life, isn't it?
Yeah.
A successful professional facade while harboring, well, whatever this was. It's a chilling reminder of how little we might know about people, even those living right next door. That compartmentalization is profound.
So the task force is closing in, but then they get worried. Heuermann starts obsessively searching online about the LISK investigation.
He knows they're onto him.
They feared he did, worried he might bolt, flee the country, or worse, they had to move, but they needed one last piece, one solid link. And this is where it gets almost unbelievable. Rex Heuermann was brought down by a pizza crust.
You're kidding? A pizza crust?
Not kidding. See, forensics found a single hair, not Megan Waterman's, in the burlap sack with her body. If they could match Heuermann's DNA to that hair, that's the link.
So they needed his DNA without alerting him.
Exactly. Surveillance team waits outside his Manhattan office. Last month, he orders pizza, eats some, tosses the box in a public trash can outside.
Opportunity knocks.
Team swoops in, grabs the box, and inside, jackpot. An uneaten pizza crust. They swabbed the crust on napkin too, set it for analysis. June 12th, results are back. DNA from the crust, 99.96% matched to the hair from the burlap sack.
That's it. The physical evidence they needed.
That's it. Game over. July 13th, detectives surround him as he leaves his office. He's arrested, charged with murdering Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello. And he's the prime suspect for Maureen Brainard-Barnes, the Gilgo 4. Now, Heuermann maintains his innocence, but the evidence, wow, it's just this chilling mountain they've built.
Start with the phones.
Okay, the burner phones. Investigators got the records. These untraceable phones used to contact the Gilgo 4 right before they died. And get this, whenever these burner phones pinged a cell tower.
Like at Madison Square Garden or Massapequa?
Yeah. His own personal cell phone pinged the exact same tower at the exact same time. Every single time. It wasn't coincidence. His personal phone shadowed those burners.
So he carried both phones together?
Seems like it. And it gets worse. His personal phone, the burner phones, and the victims' phones all pinged the same towers together on the nights they disappeared. Like they were traveling together.
Wow.
They even have surveillance footage of him buying one of the burner phones near his office. And all the calls, the messages from the burners, originating near his office during lunch breaks or after work.
That digital trail.
But wait, the burner phone thing gets even weirder. His online dating, he used a fake Tinder profile, Andrew Roberts, linked to one of his personal email addresses.
Okay.
He'd send selfies from this profile to women he matched with. Selfies taken and sent using the same burner phones he used to contact the Gilgo 4.
That's almost incomprehensible. The lack of operational security there.
Right.
It speaks to this incredible hubris, maybe a belief he just couldn't be caught, or maybe just sloppy. Either way, it's a gift to the prosecution. This mix of being smart enough to run a business, yet leaving such obvious digital breadcrumbs. It's fascinating, psychologically.
Then the DNA. We talked about the hair match on Megan Waterman. 99.96%. Solid.
Go.
But then, hair from Rex Heuermann's wife was found on 3 victims. Melissa, Megan, and Amber.
His wife's hair.
Yeah. And she was out of state or even overseas during each of those murders. She's since filed for divorce, completely blindsided by all this.
So her hair likely transferred from their home onto his clothes.
And then onto the victims.
That places him physically with the victims in a very powerful way. It's not direct proof she was involved, but it ties him to the crime scenes via their shared environment. A very strong piece of circumstantial evidence.
And his search history.
Oh.
In the 14 months before his arrest, over 200 searches about the LISK case.
Checking up on the investigation.
Obsessively. Things like, why hasn't the Long Island serial killer been caught? Why couldn't law enforcement trace the calls made by LISK? He read about specific officers, listened to podcasts like this one, watched documentaries, compulsively searched about the victims, even tried to find and contact their families.
That's common behavior for these types. Revisiting the crime, monitoring the investigation.
And on top of that, hundreds of searches for just depraved, vile content, unspeakable stuff. Plus, one really strange search. Asian male twink. Didn't fit his usual pattern. But remember the Asian doe found near the Gilgo 4? Biologically male.
Could be a coincidence, but given everything else.
Seems unlikely, right? And remember that belt on Maureen Brainard-Barnes? The HM initials? Investigators now think it's WH. Rex Horriman's grandfather's initials were William Horriman.
WH.
Another potential link. They're building quite the case.
Then the house search. In his basement on Long Island, they found a soundproof chamber. A vault, basically. Heavy, safe door, thick concrete walls. They called it a potential killing room.
Good Lord.
They also seized a life-size doll of a child in a glass case, a big portrait of a disfigured woman, and over 200 guns. He was a hunter, apparently.
That soundproof room, the disturbing items, the arsenal, it paints this picture of someone meticulously creating a hidden world for these dark impulses.
It speaks to premeditation, planning, concealment, not impulsive acts, which makes that public persona, the successful architect, even more jarring.
This guy, successful multi-millionaire family man, living the dream, right? But the evidence points to this cold, calculating killer. Took lives, went back to work like nothing happened, visited sex workers hundreds of times before, during, after the killings, right up until his arrest.
It challenges that notion that serial killers lack self-control. He clearly had enough control to time killings for when his wife was away.
And he seemed to stop, or at least pause, once the Gilgo 4 bodies were found and the heat was on. Now the house is this morbid tourist spot. His family's lives just destroyed, a surreal waking horror show, as someone put it.
Just awful for them, caught in the fallout.
So, Shannon Gilbert's search, unrelated, accidental death maybe, but it led straight to Rex Horriman. Cosmic justice, you could say. If she hadn't been called to Oak Beach that night, hadn't disappeared, who knows how long LISK would have remained hidden?
Decades, perhaps.
And there's a very recent update, just last week actually. Remember the Fire Island Jane Doe? Legs found in 96, skull in 2010.
The first and last one chronologically.
She's been identified after 26 years. Her name was Karen Vergata, 34 years old, escort from Manhattan, vanished on Valentine's Day 1996. Never reported missing. The FBI used genealogical research.
Karen Vergata. And she disappeared in 96. That timing is significant.
Very. Authorities haven't officially linked her case to Horriman yet, but the identification coming now, it feels relevant, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It either broadens the potential timeline for Horriman's activity way back, or it brings back that chilling possibility of another killer.
Someone operating in the same area maybe a decade earlier.
Someone we still don't know about.
Indeed. Another monster maybe still out there, living his life, just like Rex Horriman did for all those years. Neighbors, family, colleagues. Completely unaware of the darkness hidden inside. The whole story of LISK and Rex Horriman's capture. It's just this chilling reminder, isn't it? Real horror isn't ghosts or monsters under the bed. It's sometimes hidden in the everyday lives around us.
It really is.
It's also a testament to police perseverance, those unexpected twists, and how one tiny clue, like a hair or a pizza crust, can finally bring some justice. We hope this deep dive gave you a good understanding of this really complex, terrifying case.
And maybe left you thinking about how some truths, they might stay buried, even as we uncover others. There are still unanswered questions here.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for this deep dive. If you found this story compelling, please do show your support for channels like Horror Docx. You can hit the like button, share the story, subscribe for more, deeply unsettling narrative like this one.
Your support helps keep these stories told.
From all of us here, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And until next time, stay safe.